What's up, Running Tribe? This is Wes, and I'm here to help you find your soulmate. And I don't necessarily mean that person that makes your heart flutter or gives you those butterflies in the stomach, but I mean the sole of your foot, and therefore your shoe. Now, as runners, one of the things I love about our sport is that it requires very little equipment. A pair of shorts, maybe a sports bra, a pair of running shoes, and you're good to go. But that means that the running shoes that you're gonna pick, they have a very big importance on them. Now, there are a lot of different brands and there are a lot of different models within each brand. There's a lot of theories behind how you should run, and therefore shoes that are tailored to that different type of stride or those different conditions. I'm gonna give you what I consider to be my favorite shoe, but before I do, I wanna talk to you guys about some different types of shoes. Now, there are different brands. There's everything from Asics, Adidas, Nikes, Hoka's, On Running, even the Vibram Five Fingers, and I've tried them all. I've done the Vibram Five Fingers where you feel like you basically have a piece of leather or plastic rubber on your foot, and I've done even the Hoka's that feels like you're getting something that is a 10 to 20 millimeter cushion where you almost feel like you're running a little bit on a pillow. What I find for myself that works really, really well, and I'm gonna speak to mostly those people that are going out there and just running on asphalt, is just a really neutral shoe. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a biomechanist. I did have a background in kinesiology. That's what my degree was in, athletic training, sport medicine in particular. But I'm not somebody that is gonna go and break down every little nuance of ground reaction force on a force plate, but I can speak to a lot of those things. And I think what I find for most people is a mid-foot strike really is what works best. Now, that is not to say it works for everybody. Everybody has their own stride that they've kind of worked their way into and really does work best for them. But I do find that mid-foot strike really is ideal. If you think about your foot, if it's like the aspect of your hand, the palm of your hand, when it would be placed down on an object, it would splay, it would open up. Same thing with your midfoot. All of those muscles in between your metatarsals, you have 5 metatarsals, all of those muscles and tendons and ligaments in between, they allow those metatarsals to open up and splay. And that's how you get increased springiness with your step, but it's also how you dissipate more force through those tendons and not necessarily into your joints. So again, what I like is just a really good neutral shoe for most people. So I find for myself that something like the Asics 2100 series could work well. Brooks has the Glycerin series that could work well, but for me, what I tend to run in, these are the Nike Pegasus. This is the 36th version of these. They've been out for a very long time. This is a neutral shoe by Nike, meaning that the heel drop, which is a technical term, just meaning the amount of distance from the heel down to your forefoot, is fairly mild. Something that would have a more minimalistic feel, like say those Vibrams in particular, it's going to be really, really narrow at the heel, so there's going to be very minimal heel drop. And the premise is that it would be so painful to run on your heel in a pair of Vibrams that you're going to naturally run on that mid or forefoot strike. I found for myself that I still like to have a little bit of cushion, and those Pegasus work really, really well for a lot of different types of terrain. If I've got, where I live in Newport Beach, there is a lot of trail that also blends with some asphalt, like a bike track or a bike trail. And I can run on both of those surfaces really, really easy in a pair of Pegasus. I've even found that they make a trail version of the Pegasus that has a little bit more to it, a little bit more depth on some of the tread on the bottom. This is just the road series, but on that trail version it has a little bit more depth, so it's more easy to push off of softer surfaces, and it can also grab onto some, whether it's rocks or fire road, crushed gravel, crushed granite type of surfaces. So that's what works well for me, but the biggest thing I think everybody needs to do is ideally get fitted, and then just try a bunch of stuff out. It's one of the things I like about a lot of different brands now. They'll let you test it out and return it whenever you want. So that's what I would always suggest you do. I ran in a pair of new trail shoes the other day, and I felt my 3rd, 4th toe go a little numb. I think they were just a little stiff in that forefoot. Box them up, ship them right back, and try something different. So that's my suggestion. What I would love for you to do is try it out, as many different brands as you can, and then what I always do suggest when you find a version that works well for you, for me is that Pegasus, I just order as many of them as I can, especially when they go on sale. I just order that version, knowing that there's a newer version that comes around and there's just a very minimal difference in that new model. So hopefully that helps, gives you a little bit of information. Experiment with it, because it's never about the destination, but more about the experimentation. Good luck with your running. Hopefully you guys are running right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.